Okay, so this has been kind of a crazy day. It all starts about 2 days ago when I saw the whole Rachel versus Kanadajin3 video. And, I started to get some emails, I started to get some stuff in my Facebook inbox, my YouTube inbox, asking my opinion. I posted some stuff on the wall. Most of it just poking some fun, innocent stuff. No one got too offended or anything like that. You guys were cool with it, because you guys knew I wasn't so serious. And it really doesn't, let's be honest, this whole thing doesn't really affect my channel at all. But it does affect the JVLOG community, and that's something I don't like to see. I think Rachel's got a great channel, and it's really strong. I think she'll be fine after this whole thing kind of smooths over. But the people that I really worry about in this are the smaller JVloggers who were just getting started, two of which who were in Osaka, and they were just attacked with outright malice. And as this whole video progresses and you see me start to analyze what's happening, and then events happened over this day coming up to the final pinnacle of the moment of me about to put the final recording of this video down and edit it together so you can see how my thought process evolved through the day. Because when I started, certain videos weren't out yet. Cat Loves Osaka, her response to Mira video wasn't out yet when I made my first part of this video. I also had some viewers who contacted me with a little more evidence about Mira's kind of wrongdoings, quote unquote. And that stuff kind of surprised me too, and you'll see how my thought pattern evolves when I start to learn that information too. And kind of all of it starts to wrap up into this incredible, fucked up, I don't know how else to say it, cocktail of psychopath, sociopath, uneducated. I mean, and this isn't me trying to be mean. This is just a touch of everything somebody showed me about this situation. And I think you're really, with the very final video where you see what Cat Loves Osaka's video states, which is pretty much the last piece of this puzzle and all the evidence and everything that proves 100% that Mira did everything Rachel said she did. I think you're gonna have to agree with me. You may still be a big fan of Mira and Kanadajin3, the same person. That's fine. I really don't care. I don't support anyone going over there with crazy death threats, hating her, trolling her, yelling at her. She's in the wrong. There's no question. She's got a lot of problems now. You going over there and yelling at her is kind of petty at this point. Her problems are far bigger than that. Earlier in this video, I talk about how, you can't really take legal action in this situation, but by the end of this video, I realize the last response to Mira can actually take a legal attack on her, and quite valid here in Japan. And she's pretty fucked if this really goes down. She really doesn't have a lot of options. Anyway, let me stop talking. You need to just watch this whole video all the way through. If you do anything, if you're gonna watch this, watch the whole thing through. If you're not, then please don't comment, because your comment's gonna be pre-ejaculation. It's gonna be bullshit because you didn't listen to the whole thing. You'll sound like an idiot who didn't watch the whole video and just commented if you try to respond early, because it's literally, I started recording this at 9 o'clock in the morning, and through the day I kept getting messages about this video. Then I got messages about a new video that Cat Loves Osaka released, and I feel it would be improper if I broke up this video into different parts. So just watch the whole thing. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Unrested here, and I've been asked by a few of my viewers and some people in the community to just kind of make my own sort of comment on what's going down right now within our little JVlogger community, dealing with the whole Rachel and June versus Kanadajin3 debacle, I guess you could call it, argument.
accusations. I'm not sure how to label it. I don't know if there really is a good label when you have a situation like this. Nonetheless, as I usually do, I make a video answering questions, and this time it's about an argument within our community. I guess what people are asking is my own opinion, whose side I'm taking, which I'm not really on anybody's side because I don't really know these people personally, and I feel the main reason I do want to make a comment about it is, number one, to answer the fans, or the viewers, I don't really like to call fans, because I owe them that. If they ask for a certain type of video, I deliver. On top of that, I do care about the community. I feel like that's the stronger thing that I really worry about here in Japan being affected, and I'd like to see it as untouched and unscathed as possible with this situation. So anyway, let's just jump right in. Before we do, I want to just say, if you don't know what I'm talking about right now, if you don't know about the Rachel and June versus Kanadajin3 debacle, you need to go to Rachel and June's channel and watch the video called An Unfortunate Announcement, or video, I forget exactly what it's called, but it's the newest video on their site right now. And you should also probably check out Gimmeabreakmans' take on Rachel versus Kanadajin3, just so you can get kind of caught up and know exactly what I'm talking about, and if I make a reference, it's not too esoteric and you're blown out of the conversation. With that said, let's jump right in. So, like I said, first of all, I have no personal contact. I've never actually met in person Kanadajin3 or Rachel. I've been to events in which I think they were possibly at, but I never went out of my way to meet them. Either one, because I just didn't know they were there, or two, I just didn't have the time. I didn't make the time, I should say. And I do know some of the lesser known channels that are involved in this, that they didn't ask to be involved in this, but they are part of this. And those are the ones I really feel the worst for, because as petty as it sounds, we could say the Mira attacking Rachel thing is a case of jealousy. That would be the most simple situation that we could cite for this debacle. But when it comes to very small channels, like one of them I know had only 100 subs that she attacked, that's just malicious. That's just outright provocative and malicious, and shows a lot of just complete irrational psychopathic behavior, because it means that she feels she has a certain zone or genre or YouTube video type on lockdown, and believes that she needs to stomp competition before they even work their way up like the subscriber echelon, which, I mean, that's pretty twisted. Now let me just say, everything I'm saying here today, every quote-unquote analyzation of the situation that I'm making, every bit of evidence I'm using, comes mostly from what Rachel said in her video. And I, of course, am saying this as a third party with no hard, tangible evidence in my own hands or on screen right now as I speak. Nonetheless, since Kanadajin, as of today, making this video, she has not made any sort of response or reply or said anything really that backs up herself as far as that being untrue, I'm going to continue to think what Rachel said is true until otherwise proven wrong. Some may have a problem with that. They may say, wait and hear both sides of the story. Well, you know what? I completely agree with you. And I believe there are two sides to every story. And if later it comes out that there's way more to this on Kanadajin's side, and she publishes a video that just knocks my socks off with all sorts of evidence and knocks down every theory and everything Rachel said, I will take this video straight down and make an apology video. But I don't really think it's gonna happen. I don't see that happening. I don't think it is. It could. I'm open to the possibility of that happening, but I don't see that happening. If she makes an apology video and says, you know, I'd like this all forgotten about, forgiven, and I really wish anything concerning it would be taken down, I'd take it down for that too. But until anything like that appears on YouTube, I feel I have every right to make this video. I'm justified in making this video, and as far as I know, concerning Rachel's evidence, I am correct and truthful in saying what I'm saying. You know, many different points can be argued, and this can even be overanalyzed. I'm just going to stick to about 3 different analyzation points that I see in this situation, and what I see as kind of concerning the community as well, and how I think this could all be kind of, not necessarily solved, but brought to a final resolution that could either bring us as close as we were before in our community, or possibly even closer. Let's talk about that. So, like I said, there's 3 points I want to go through here, and I'm just going to kind of break down some psychological points that I feel are better psychoanalyzed rather than just saying, hey, she's crazy for doing this, because that's just too simple of an answer and kind of leaves things unexplained. And these are purely opinionated. I'm trying to take them as objectively as possible because, like I said, I have no agenda with either person involved in this video. I'm more so concerned about the community, and that's kind of how I want to address these. So number 1 is pathological lying. I see there is so much lying involved in here that I'm just lumping it into pathological lying. Lying for reasons of gain, for reasons of crushing anybody you see as a competition within a genre that you do. That's pretty much women in Japan vlogging about their personal experience or knowledge of Japan. I don't know if she feels threatened by people who are of a higher subscriber status than her, but if that's the case, then she also is attacking those with lower subscriber statuses because she feels like they're upcoming competition, and those 2 things combined just reek of malice and a certain touch of psychopathy, and I'll get into why I think that. Number 2, I want to say referred anger. A lot of the lashing out that she's done really reveals a history of referred anger, and where that comes from, I can barely even begin to imagine, as I would have to definitely have a closer knowledge of her personal upbringing, her life. One thing I can note that I have seen, and this is because she published it on YouTube, if you don't want anything to become more than a secret, then don't publish it on YouTube, because it'll be a secret between you and the entire internet. And the video I'm talking about is the one in which she says her current boyfriend and now husband abused her, and there was no actual video footage. It was just her turning on her camera, and I guess it was possibly facing a wall or on a bed or something where it was total blackness, but in the background you could hear her crying and kind of the sounds of what sounded like him trying to push her out of his house, and her saying, why are you doing this? And then she deleted the video and denied a lot of it happening, and it was really strange. And now she's married to the same guy who she made that video about, which really makes me question if she's put herself in a daily abusive situation, which no one should have to go through that. I feel bad for her in that sense, and no matter what she's done, nobody deserves that situation. But it also doesn't justify referred anger, and that's kind of what I'm seeing, the kick the dog type situation. You're angry at your own situation, maybe not happy with what level of career path she's at, because she really doesn't have any kind of career in Japan. She's not really on a high level status here within the YouTube community. I mean, giants like Michaela far outshine her. And then she sees more people starting to do what she does, and I guess she feels threatened, and now it's her lashing back with this referred anger, with just attacking and ripping into even people with small amounts of subs. That's not jealousy, that's just referred anger. That's just vicious, malicious lashing out and provoking. And finally, number 3, a sociopathic and psychopathic tendencies. Not all psychopaths kill people, in case you didn't know that. Some just stab you in the back metaphorically. And that's pretty much what she's done. People who've been her best friend, she's really, really stabbed in the back. Holy cow. And honestly, I bet if you asked any of the people involved in this who've been stabbed in the back by her, I bet they really don't even care so much that she made fake accounts, that she said all these mean things online. I'll bet you they're more hurt that the person they thought they knew was never really there. It's almost the same as having somebody die in your life, a close friend die, because really that person who you imagine existed is dead. They never really existed. They were all kind of a make-believe person this so-called friend or frenemy was putting on as an act the entire time. And that can be kind of devastating, because you might have really bonded closely with whoever that character was he or she made. And it leaves you with a scrambled brain. You're confused, you're wondering why, what motives, was anything they ever said to you true? And it's a really hurtful situation to be left in, and I feel really bad for the people who were her close friends, and how betrayed they must feel right now. And I am quite certain they are in far more pain over the fact that she betrayed them rather than the comments and the fake accounts. They probably couldn't give a shit, really, honestly. Let me just end the video by saying this. I'm gonna give you kind of a what should and what shouldn't be done and my prediction of what will happen. I could be totally wrong, and like I said, I may even end up taking down this video should things totally change. But the situation is pretty much one in which, if everything Rachel has said is 100% true, the only choice Kanadajin really has is 1, completely leave the community, or 2, make a massive, sincere, and honest apology, admit to everything, and I don't think she needs to shut down her channel after that. I don't think she needs to stop making videos or even privatize her channel or take a break. Once she's admitted that, the healing can begin. I don't think they'll ever truly be close friends ever again. I don't think she can ever really be close friends with anyone she's betrayed like that, because aside from a miracle, it's nearly impossible to believe in a person who's done stuff like that. I know I've had the same kind of thing happen to me before here in Japan. A friend completely betray me with insults into something I was doing that I always thought they supported me with. My prediction, what I really think is probably going to happen, and if this doesn't happen and the apology happens instead, I will not only be really surprised, I'll be really happy, and I'll tell her personally she was really brave if she goes out and makes an apology, because that would be really brave. That would really show that there's a really substantially good person perhaps behind all this obfuscation of fake accounts and everything. But my prediction, she's either number 1 going to make a video response in which she tries to cover up her lies, with more fake accounts. I mean, we're already still seeing more fake accounts on Google. Some people have talked to her online, I've talked to her online. I can actually read those conversations at some point or post them, and she just completely ignores the fact that she's being accused of all this stuff, and she even said she's gonna go get a lawyer, which is, it's laughable. If you tried to bring in the fact that someone made you angry or talked bad about you on YouTube to a lawyer, they would laugh you out of their practice here in Japan. No one can sue for mental anguish in Japan, and that's about all she's got to deal with right now. That would be a laughable case if she really tried to bring it to a lawyer. So you're not going to see anything legal really get involved here. At the most, June could try and get the information taken down that was personal information posted about him. You know, Rachel's not going to hire an international lawyer from America to Japan to attack Kanadajin. That would be ridiculous and not worth the money. Because remember, lawyers are not free. You don't just go to a lawyer and tell them you're angry and they work pro bono. But you're going to just see a video in which she most likely just tries to cover up what she's already done with more BS, more lies, lying about her lies, and
possibly even making more fake accounts or coming up with fake evidence. Or you're just going to see nothing. She's just going to ignore it, wait till it blows over, and it will blow over. She'll have gone down a few notches in the community. It's going to be awkward for her if she ever tries to show up to any kind of community events, but eventually it will blow over, people will forget, and she can make new friends with new arrivals that come to Japan all the time. I worry for those people. I worry for them. Be very careful. Watch this video before you make friends. What is up, everybody? Unrested here, and this morning I actually made a full video as a response to the whole Rachel versus Kanadajin situation, because I've kind of been asked to, been given a bunch of emails and inbox in my YouTube, my Facebook, everything, asking me for what my opinion is. And just like I do a lot of JFAQ and answer a lot of questions, I felt like, well, I'll go ahead and answer this one too. I mean, it does have to do with Japan, it does have to do with our JVLOG community, and that is a community that I'm part of. But what did happen actually is I recorded the video, and then kind of like what you saw with Gimmeabreakmans video on this same subject, there was more developing aspects of the story that I found out later after I went to work, and my friend messaged me, who keeps up a lot with those two channels, with Rachel and June and Kanadajin3. He's been kind of a big fan of both channels for a long time, and I myself, I've watched a couple of their videos. I'm not overly crazy, and it's not because I don't like their channels, it's just because when I watch a channel that's teaching me about Japan, there's a lot of stuff I already know. Not to sound cocky, but I've lived here 8 years, so so there's not a lot of stuff that I'm gonna learn. Like, I'm not gonna, for example, learn about housewives when I'm married to a Japanese woman. She can teach me. So anyway, I wanted to go ahead and just let you watch the first part of this video. I'm gonna put it on right now, and then after you watch this whole thing, stay tuned, because I kind of had some developing stuff happen afterwards that kind of taught me a little bit more about the situation, and I feel really, so that you guys fully understand where I'm coming from, and maybe, different theories to this situation and different ways this may have developed. We should hear everything as much as possible, because the more information, the more learned we are on everybody's situation in this story, I think the better we can come to a conclusion as to what really happened. So after I made that whole first section that you just watched, ended my video, I sent it to my friend and just said, what do you think? Here's my opinion on it, here's where I'm coming from, here's the little bit I know. And he said, well, that was a pretty good video, but here's some aspects that you're not listing that those of us who have actually been big fans of those channels have really gone in deep and researched quite a bit. We've been with these channels for a long time and know not just the different type of videos that those two put up, but we know a lot about their personal life just from following them through their videos, which a lot of people could say about me too. They're not being nosy, they're not like going out of their way to research an abundant amount of stuff. They just know a lot because I've been making videos for 6 years. And that's kind of what his situation is. He's just been following her for a while, knows a lot more stuff than I do, and kind of filled me in on some very interesting aspects. And this was kind of his theory. I'm not disagreeing or agreeing with this. I'm just letting you know the information he already told me. And that information pretty much is that he cites the fact that he feels Kanadajin at times thinks she's inadequate when she compares herself to these other JVloggers, due to the fact that, number one, she's kind of in a crisis right now in her life. Apparently, according to him, and I don't have any proof to back this up, so call me out on it, tell me I'm a liar, whatever, that's fine. I'm just saying what somebody else told me. This could be total hearsay. She doesn't have a visa to continue to stay in Japan. She's reaching the end of a work visa, or no, student visa, I think it is. And she never even actually finished high school and never got a GED. And so without that, she can't really ever get a full-time job here or get a work visa. Apparently she was married, but then also was divorced and lost that spouse visa as well, because if you get divorced, you can't continue to have a spouse visa, obviously. On top of that, now she's kind of in a situation where she can't get a job, she can't get her current boyfriend to marry her, apparently. but if this is all 100% true, I can't tell you. So it's something I'll continue to research, but I can kind of understand one thing. The one aspect of this that really makes a lot of sense to me is he's saying that she feels inadequate, and that she's also fearing the fact that her time on a visa is running out, and that rather than just go out quietly and leave Japan in the normal way that most of us would just say, well, I'm heading back home, my visa's up, my time's over, I'm cashing out, my chips are done. He says he believes she might be on a campaign to get everyone to hate her out of the community until she's got a great excuse to say goodbye to everyone and say, I'm no longer wanted here, and I'm heading home because of that, which I think may be a pretty extreme push. To go that far would be incredible, but you never know with these situations. I would say that it could be another reason for her referred anger, another reason for her stress, another reason she may have had this break that made her go ballistic on her own friends and turn on them. She could be jealous of visas, education status, subscriber status, etc. But again, I want to leave that completely up to you. That's not my own personal theory, that's just given to me by a person who knows the channel much better than myself, and I feel like I should share that with you. Okay, so there you go. Wow, right? Wow. And the final part, the part that is the last piece of the puzzle, is this video. If I can bring it up right now, I'm going to turn on my computer, and I'd like to bring it up on the screen and show it to all of you, just as proof, or just in case anybody hasn't watched it and is wondering what the heck I'm talking about. Let me just go ahead and do a quick search. It should bring it up pretty quick. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Quick vlog from Cat Loves Osaka. Okay. And a respond to Mira. Okay, so this is the video right here that I'm talking about. You should definitely watch this video. I don't have the sound turned on. Let me turn the sound on real quick, okay? Hold on one second. You guys can see my whole setup. My desk is a mess. I have no excuse. There's some cool pictures of me. Hold on just a second.
You're getting a lot of stalkers on your Facebook recently, and that you needed a photo of me for that reason. So I took 3 photos of me holding signs saying, I am not Mira. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and give you a synopsis on what she says here. Go watch the video yourself. I'll put the link in the bottom. I'll put a link to everybody's video in the bottom here. I don't want there to be any part that you don't know about. I want you to have the full story from everybody. And if there's ever a response from Mira, I'll go back and put that in the links at the bottom too. As of the day that I'm making this video, there is no response, so don't yell at me if I'm not quick enough to put it in there. Anyway, she pretty much states this is Cat Loves Osaka I'm talking about, the girl who just put the video up today, and this is the girl who Rachel was talking about, was asked by Mira to hold up a sign that said, I am not Mira. And if you watched her video, you'll know what I'm talking about. And she confirmed that was what she told her to do. But she told her it was because she was having problems with stalkers. And totally misled her, then used it on this site called Pool, which is Pretty Ugly Little Liars, if I've got it correct, the abbreviation. And tried to use it there to take away some of the infamous info listed about her there, to try and disprove some of the things people are saying about her on there, and using this picture as a scapegoat picture, saying, this is the girl who's pretending to be me. And oh my god, that is so incredibly fucked up, because this girl is, well, I should say was, past tense, her friend, a true friend, and someone who obviously was very willing to help her put this picture up because she thought it was helping her avoid stalkers, which is something friends do. They would go out of their way to make sure you're safe, protected, no one's going after you.
And that's what she thought she was doing. And in turn, she's going and slandering her friend. This sweet, innocent girl who, I've watched a few of her videos to get to know her better, seems like the most down-to-earth, nicest JVlogger, and totally undeserving of anybody doing this to her. Totally unprovoked. Incredible. Mira, you got 100% evidence against you. You have two options. Before I said you can try to come out and do a BS video. You can't now. You can't. There's no lie to get you out of this. Any lies at this point will just make you look way, so much worse. It's not even funny at this point. You've got two options. Apology video or disappear. There's really no other choices at this point. This girl's gonna take legal action against you. And guys, earlier in the video I said that's laughable, someone taking legal action. Here I would be wrong. She can take legal action. She has a valid case. This is release of private information. They are both in Japan. Privacy laws are very strict in Japan. She could very easily file a case, a civil case, and Mira could be going to court. And this has nothing to do with mental anguish, like I said before. That's a totally different thing, and that's not even what this girl is saying. She has a very valid point. Her case could go to court, and she has asked for nothing more than an apology video, which I feel is completely fair for her to ask for. I mean, really, she could ask for a hell of a lot more. But she's obviously, like I said, a very sweet, down-to-earth girl. Not evil, like someone else. Wow. Mira. Get that shovel and start digging your way back out of the hole, sweetheart. You are fucking deep.